Okay, welcome back to After the Buzzer Podcast. My name is Marquel Lewis. This is the second edition of the podcast. And I know I've been gone for a little while, but you know how the world going on things with the COVID-19, stuff like that. Just trying to get everything situated. But let's get right into it. This episode, the biggest topic we're going to talk about is the NBA Finalist for all the awards. And I'm going to give my prediction on who will win and why. I'm explaining why for each one. But let's get right into it, man. Let's get right into this. So the first award I'm going to be talking about is the Sixth Man of the Year. We got finalists. By the way, the finalists have been released today as of Saturday, August 8th. So for Sixth Man of the Year, the finalists are Dennis Schroeder, Montrezl Harrell, Lou Will. And I think these obvious finalists and stuff like that, they all amazing. It's crazy how two Sixth Man of the Year candidates can come from one team, as in the Clippers. They just show how they depth and they benches go crazy. But besides that, I'm picking Dennis Schroeder to win this award. He averaging 19, 18.9, but let's round it up, 19, 3.7 rebounds, 4 assists. But his impact in coming in the game, when Chris Paul sit and get that breather, he keeps that scoring momentum up while Chris Paul take that breath. And the closing lineup with him, Chris Paul, Gallinari, Shai Gilgeous, and Steve Adams is one of the clutchest lineups in the NBA. They one of the best closing lineups in the NBA. And they really been surprising me. I didn't expect this team to be this well. But the development of Shai Gilgeous, he really took that next step. Chris Paul being the leader, him, the point guard, the leader of that team, he really been their main focus. Honestly, in my opinion, when I get the MVP, I believe he should be an MVP candidate, at least top 5. Maybe not top 3, but at least top 5, because where he took this team to. And it's just crazy. But my Sixth Man of the Year is going to Dennis Schroeder. Montrezl and Lou Will both deserve to be in this conversation and stuff like that. But I think Dennis Schroeder's impact is way bigger, is way higher than Montrezl and Lou Will. Especially since they got Kawhi Leonard and Paul George on their team. Alright, next award. Let's get into it. Most improved. The finalists are Brandon Ingram, Bam Adebayo, and Luka Doncic. Now, first of all, I'm gonna eliminate Luka Doncic, and he's the greatest out. He's better than Bam and Brandon Ingram. But I think from my standpoint, I kind of expected this jump from Luka. You can see in his first year that he was destined for greatness. This man is something special. He really is something special. So I expected this, but I'm not going to take that away from being most improved. But his numbers didn't improve like B.I. and Bam. Next, I'm going to get into Bam Adebayo. And like for him to be average, the main thing that surprised me is his playmaking. 5.1 assists per game for a center, that's pretty big. He not got the Jokic type of playmaking, but that's still he one of the best playmaking bigs in the NBA, and it's only his second year. What, second year? Third? I think it's second year. But my winner for this is Brandon Ingram. All-star, going crazy, potentially could take the Pelicans to the playoffs, even though they've been struggling in the bubble. But if they had Zion for the whole season, they would have been in the playoffs. They would have had an AC, I believe. But Brandon Ingram, he just something special. His scoring ability is amazing. I believe he averaging 24 points per game, and it just 23.9, but 24. He efficient. He's another Durant. He's going to be another Durant, not to the scoring aside, because Durant's the greatest scorer in NBA history, in my opinion. And Brandon Ingram, he got the size, he got the length, he got the scoring ability. He's got to take that next step like KD did. But I got Brandon Ingram winning this award. And I think the big argument between B.I. and Bam Adebayo, but I think Brandon Ingram deserved this award. Next, I'm going to go into Coach of the Year. The Coach of the Year finalists are Mike Budenholzer from the Milwaukee Bucks, Billy Donovan from the OKC Thunder, and Nick Nurse from the Toronto Raptors. One thing I'm going to get out the way, I'm not taking Billy Donovan's coaching skills away from him and stuff. I do believe he should be in the top 3 for Coach of the Year. But I think we also got to admit that Chris Paul is the real reason this team is really doing well. Billy Donovan, in my opinion, 2 first-round exits with Paul George and Russell Westbrook. He should have at least got out the first round when they played the Utah Jazz, and they got put out by a rookie basically. His coaching has been questionable throughout the season, but he's really took a team that's projected for 24 wins, I believe, and has them right there in the playoff. They already clinched, and he's had them right there. They could possibly squeak out a first round series win, depending on who they play. Like they play Utah, I think they could beat Utah. They honestly could beat Utah, especially with Chris Paul behind them. But I don't know if they can get further than that. I think Mike Budenholzer. I don't think Mike Budenholzer wins this award because of the expectations. We already knew Giannis was going to take that next step, and we already knew. We know that teams will continue to get better and better. They was on pace for 70 wins before the pandemic broke out and stuff like that. But this team, it's just amazing. It really is amazing. And Mike Budenholzer is a really amazing coach because he took his father way further than Jason Kidd could ever did. But let's see can they get to that next level by getting to the finals, because they haven't done it yet. And we gonna get there later in the season to see can they get to the finals, because they haven't got there yet. But my Coach of the Year winner is Nick Nurse. Nick Nurse, what he's doing with the Toronto Raptors while Kawhi Leonard, I think they was on pace to have a better record than they did last year. And the one thing I don't want to get mistaken that they did play a lot of games without Kawhi Leonard last year because of the low management situation. So they very experienced playing with Kawhi. But to have them where they are now, to have them even better than they was last year, is ridiculous. And his defensive scheme is the best I ever saw. And I'm only 20, so I got about 15 years of watching NBA, 10 years of actually actively watching NBA. He got the best defensive schemes I ever saw. The defensive schemes he putting out there is the reason why Toronto got the best defensive, not rating, but point per G. It's crazy and ridiculous how they doing while Kawhi Leonard. But he's my Coach of the Year, and I think he's everybody Coach of the Year. All right, next we'll go to Defensive Player of the Year. The finalists are Rudy Gobert, Anthony Davis, and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think Rudy Gobert is eliminated from winning. He's really good defensively. He's a really good shot blocker, interior force, paint defender. But he can't do what Giannis and Anthony Davis do. Anthony Davis and Giannis can both guard positions 1 through 5, and Rudy Gobert can't do that. When he get mounted onto point guard, he looks silly. When Rudy Gobert get mounted onto point guard, they make him look silly. So I think that's taking me away from him, wrong for him for Defensive Player of the Year. Anthony Davis, I'm not giving this award to Anthony Davis solely because I think Giannis is just a better defender. They both could guard 1 through 5, but Giannis could do it way more efficiently. He's way more scurrier when you matched up against you. It's like his wingspan. He's not good of a shot blocker as Anthony Davis and Gobert, but he's a better perimeter defender than both of them. And sometimes they run him at center, and he got the length and the body to be able to guard centers. When you have a player that guard 1 through 5, he out there guarding your point guard. He could guard your center. He can guard your wings. That's amazing. And Giannis has showed us this year that he's really elite. He's an elite defender. He defends at an elite level every game. Giannis Antetokounmpo is my pick for Defensive Player of the Year. Next is Rookie of the Year. Rookie of the Year, for me, it's easy. It's easy. Kendrick Nunn, Zion Wilson, and Ja Morant is the finalists for Rookie of the Year. Kendrick Nunn, he's been great. He's been surprising. I didn't see this from Kendrick Nunn when he got drafted. I believe he went undrafted. I gotta fact check that to be sure. But Kendrick Nunn been the most surprising rookie to me this year. He's been really good, and he's been a starter for them while Gordon Johnson was to the bench. He been really good for them. He haven't been really great in the bubble. He been struggling in the bubble, and I know he just left the bubble for personal reasons. But Kendrick Nunn been a really good rookie. Zion, in my opinion, he's the best rookie this year. In the 23 games he played, including before the league shut down and after the league revival, Zion has been, in my opinion, he's going to be the best rookie from that draft class, the best player from that draft class, no doubt. If he can stop himself from getting injured, and he been really amazing. He showed us he can score. He showed he's dominant. His defense had been a little bit lackluster at times, and he's a little bit jumpy, undisciplined. He's not disciplined enough to be an elite defender. But Zion is going to be the best player from that draft class. And my rookie year winner is Ja Morant. This is obvious. Ja Morant been great the whole season. He been great the whole season. That's one thing he got with Zion. Zion didn't play enough games. He don't got the sample size that Ja Morant got. Ja Morant has consistently been great throughout the whole season. And I think anybody wrong for Zion for this award is kind of disrespectful to Ja Morant because he played the whole season unlike Zion Williams. So Ja Morant is my rookie of the year. Final. The biggest award of the season. I'm going to give the most depth in detail for this award because it deserves it. It's MVP. So the MVP finalists are LeBron, James Harden, and Giannis. But wait, before I get in, I forgot something about the Rookie of the Year. I want to mention Rui Hachimura in these Rookie of the Year finalists. He's averaged about 13.3 points per game, and he's really struggling in the bubble. He struggled just like Kendrick Nunn. They both struggle in the bubble. But it's no experience for them. They haven't gone through this. They rookies. They not veterans. They haven't gone through this. They don't think they got the mindset for this yet. But Rui Hachimura deserves some respect for the Rookie of the Year. If he's not fourth, he got to be at least top 5. Because he's been really good for the Washington Wizards. Even though their record is not good as these other players, as in Zion, Ja, and Kendrick Nunn. But his impact has to be good. His shot rating is a little better. You can see from the bubble that the offensive load is getting put on him. He's supposed to be their number one scorer. And that's kind of difficult for a rookie like him when he had been sitting behind Bill. And Bill been number one scorer. And he haven't been getting a double team, not in the bubble, not even receiving the double teams. And you don't know how to work past that at the NBA level. It's understandable. You're a rookie. But I think Rui Hachimura deserves some respect in his Rookie of the Year contest. Even though he got nothing on Ja Morant and Zion Williamson, I think he deserves some respect to be up there at least. Because he's been great. And I think he's going to be really special for the Washington Wizards, especially when they get Wall back, Bill. Thomas Bryant been really impactful. Troy Brown been okay. If they just get a dominant center and move Thomas Bryant to the bench, that team can do some damage. 5th seed, 6th seed, 7th seed. Maybe 4th, 3rd. Depending on how good Wall and Bill and Hachimura will be next year. But let me get right back into the MVP. One thing. LeBron, for what LeBron is doing at this age, is incredible. He leading assists. He averaging about 27 points per game. This man has been the best player in the league for a whole decade and more. Maybe not more, but he been the best player for at least a decade. And that's insane for him to keep playing at a high level at the age of 35. It's insane and it's amazing. It really is amazing. And I just fact checked. He's not averaging 27, he's averaging 25. But he's also averaging 8 rebounds per game, 10 assists, almost showing 50% from the field, 35% from the 3. His free throw is still pretty bad, but it's LeBron. We don't expect an amazing free throw shooter from LeBron. But LeBron, year 17, age 35, he's the best player. He's the best player in the world. No doubt the best player. Let's get into James Harden. James Harden is the second greatest scorer of all time behind Kevin Durant. His offensive skill set is amazing. And I know sometimes he may be, when he's playing against a team, maybe a little boring, quotation on boring to watch, because what he do is kind of taking advantage of the rules, but he does it so amazingly. His step out three is unguardable. His drive to the rim, unguardable. He's really not a guardable player. If James Harden is missing, that's because it's James Harden. It's not because of a great defender. I know a couple times we saw James Harden get stopped, but I think that's just an off night for him. James Harden is really amazing. 35 points per game. That's insane. We didn't ever see that type of production since Michael Jordan, the GOAT. James Harden is really amazing, and I don't think nobody not getting really respect because how he get them points. Yes, he shoot like 12 free throws a game. Yes, he do a bunch of flopping, you want to call it that. Yes, it's a bunch of acting. Yes, he do a bunch of step backs, but don't discredit. Give this man respect of being a top player in this league. And people don't want to talk about how underrated James Harden is as a defender. His post defense is probably up there with the guards. He's probably the best post defender as a guard in the league. And nobody not really talking about his hands fast, his feet, his footwork, move with the post. It's amazing. It's great. And nobody not talking about it because we see a little bit of footage here of him acting lazy on defense. But James Harden has been really good on defense this year, and nobody not talking about that enough. And next we'll get to Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis is a beast among men. He's a beast. He's dominant. He's probably the most dominant player I've seen since Shaq. He's a player that is really unguardable. You can't stop him one-on-one. You got to put that wall up around him. But putting that wall around him allows him to kick to the three. Because they got shooters. And they got dangerous shooters. Giannis, this season, is even better than he was last season. Averaging about 30. 14 rebounds. 6 assists. 1 steal. 1 block. 55% from the field. His 3 and his free throw still bad. But we don't expect that from Giannis. He's still a dominant force in the paint. He's a great defender. Now my elite defender. He elite offensive player. Giannis is, to me, it's the MVP this season. Back-to-back years. And it's crazy how we thought last season probably was going to be his greatest season. This year, it's probably going to be his greatest season. And we don't know that. He probably come out next year, average 32, 15 rebounds, 7 assists. Because he's still young. Giannis Antetokounmpo is still a young player. He's still a young player in this league. And for him to be playing at the level he is, it's insane. And it's like, he's unguardable to the point where you have to put that wall up each game. It's mandatory. And if you don't, most likely Giannis getting 35. Maybe 40 in your head. And that's something that you don't want to happen. And if he developed that outside shot, I think it's over for the league. I think it's really over for the league if Giannis developed that outside shot. Because it don't also give him the versatility. It just make him even more unguardable. Because now, you can't play back. You can't play back on Giannis. You got to step up. Because if he pops that 3, if he makes it consistently, he's dangerous everywhere on the court. It's really not no one in the league. It's not no one in the league got Giannis 1-on-1. His team was on pace to win 70 wins before the league shut down. 70. That means his team gonna be one of the greatest of all time. 70 wins. He's the best player on the best team, the best defender on the best team, and that's why I'm picking Giannis over LeBron for the MVP. For LeBron to be doing, like I said multiple times, for him to be doing this at that age, this many years in, it's nothing short of amazing. It's incredible. But what Giannis is doing, and I know y'all can say, oh, he's playing a weak Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference is weaker than the West. Yes, the Eastern Conference is still weaker than the West. But the Eastern Conference has got a lot better. The Toronto Raptors better. The Boston Celtics better. The Pacers got better. The Heat got better. These teams are not the same teams when LeBron was running with the Cavaliers 4 years ago. These not the same teams. He is the MVP of the league. And it's a really good argument between him and LeBron. But don't also forget about James Harden. What he's doing is amazing this season. Statistically, it's amazing this season. I wish that team would have one more this year. But let's see how that small ball doing in the playoffs for the Rockets. Let's see how the small ball works in the playoffs. Because when you got somebody game planning, somebody sit down and making a game plan for your lineup, and they exploit it correctly, the team could end up getting swept. So Russell Westbrook and James Harden have a lot of workload on their shoulders to make this team get to the finals. And I don't believe they get there. I believe they got the second round. I believe they could beat the Denver Nuggets in the second round. But I think they second round is their ceiling. Because I think the great coaches and the great players are going to take advantage of that small ball. And once, say they got no really center on their roster, they can't combat it. They can't go back in the locker room and say, okay, let's adjust to this. They can't really do that. So let's see how they do in the playoffs. And let's see how Giannis do. Now, MVP and all these awards are regular season awards. But let's see what Giannis can do in the playoffs this year. Let's see, can he beat that wall? Can Chris Middleton be that reliable second option? Because Chris Middleton last year was not. He was not. Once they put that wall on Giannis, once they put that wall on Giannis and stopped Giannis, he wasn't there. He disappeared on the first 2 games. He was not there. So let's can he be that reliable second option? Because the Raptors, they already got the game plan to beat Giannis. They did it before. They could do it again. I mean, they don't got Kawhi Leonard, but that's still the best defense teams according to opponent score per game. They still the best defensive team in the league. But LeBron, it's going to be between LeBron and the Clippers. Lakers and the Clippers in the conference final. I don't think no other team can beat them. I know Charles Barkley is joking around and talking about the Blazers could beat the Lakers and get to the finals, which I don't see happening. I don't think the Blazers got the firepower or the defense to stop Anthony Davis and LeBron by themselves. But the Lakers have been struggling in the bubble offensively, and we don't know exactly why. I know there's a new environment, new experience, but they've been playing pretty bad offensively. And I know LeBron can flip that switch. Anthony Davis could probably flip that switch. But I don't think the role players can. Can KCP flip that switch? Kuzma, Caruso, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, can they flip that switch? And I don't believe they can. So LeBron and they go really have to put the team on their back, and they really want to make it to the finals. So before I end this off, I'm going to go through all my awards and my winners again, just so y'all can hear it. And down below, I want y'all in the comments to tell me who y'all believe is the winner for these awards. Give me some explanations and stuff like that. Give me some criticism on how I can make the podcast better and get it out quicker, efficiently, again, to y'all. Because I'm doing this for y'all. I'm having a lot of fun recording this, but I'm also doing this for y'all. So if you can comment below about who your award winners, or you give me some critical feedback, how I can make the podcast better, I would enjoy that very much and be grateful. But let's get back to these awards. For 6th man, I got Dennis Schroeder. For most improved, I got Brandon Ingram. Coach of the year, I got Nick Nurse. Defensive player of the year, I got Giannis Antetokounmpo. Rookie of the year, I got John Morant. And MVP, I got Giannis. Now I'm hoping I'm not missing no awards. I believe there's all it. I know we get to executive staff of the year, but I'm not really gonna get into that. I don't think that's really necessary. And next podcast episode should be up by Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on when I record. And I'll be talking about all the NBA teams, NBA first team, second team, third team, defensive team, first and second, and rookie team, first and second. Hopefully, I'll get that podcast episode out to y'all by Tuesday or Wednesday. because I got a lot of ideas for who could be in my NBA teams and stuff like that. But thanks for taking a listen. Make sure you spread the news to anybody that's interested in podcasts. But I'm out. See y'all later.